Hello and welcome to the Teen Tech. I'm your host Matthew Abel, and today we will be doing an $800 gaming PC. This PC is really going to be quite powerful. Going to play all your older games, all your indie games, and even most, I'd almost say all new games. A lot of them on high settings and with, pretty good frame rate. Even games such as Call of Duty Ghosts, or Metro Last Light, or even Crisis 3 are really gonna play quite well on this system. You might have to, especially on stuff like Crisis 3, which is very demanding, you might have to turn settings down to medium and turn off some things like anti-aliasing and stuff like that. But even some $1,500 computers have to do that. It's just the nature of how graphically intense some of these games are. But this is a great computer. It sounds like a lot, and $800 is a lot for a computer, but a lot of people are spending $500, $400 on these next-gen consoles. The PS4 and Xbox One aren't cheap themselves. You save money with games by building a computer. Steam sales are really good, and you're gonna need a computer anyway. So a lot of people put in, another $300, $400 just to get a, really lousy PC. Even though if you build it right, you can get a lot out of $300, $400. And I do have a $250, $350, and $500 PC build videos as well. And so if this is above your price point, you can check those out. But as I was saying, they spend that much money on them, and then they get console as well. Really, this is going to give you way more bang for your buck. I promise you, games are going to look better on this PC than on your on an Xbox One or PS4, and it's way more future-proof. This has a lot of room for upgrading too, but it's still going to be quite good right now. So I really think there's no complaints with this computer. I'm using an Intel processor in it, so if you're a really big AMD fanboy, I would check out my $250 or $350 builds, as those have Intel processors in them. But without further ado, let's get going. One quick note: I am getting all my parts today from Micro Center, as I've said in other videos of mine. Free shipping. I think they have competitive pricing. I like the website. I like the stores. If you don't have a store around you, then you can order from their website, order from Amazon, Newegg, Tiger Direct. Really, any of these websites will have these parts. Nothing is too hard to find here, and yeah, I'm sure internet's a big place. I'm sure you can find a place to buy these parts. But at the end of the day, Micro Center isn't a bad place to buy them, whether you get whether brick and mortar locations or the website. So we'll be getting a processor and motherboard bundle. We are getting the Core i7-3770K LGA 1155 processor. It's just a really good processor, especially for the money. It's 3.5 gigahertz clock speed. It goes turbos up to 3.9 gigahertz. It's quad core, but it has hyper threading. So you're really going to be getting 8 core performance out of this, which you won't normally need in things such as a game. Quad core is plenty enough, but if you want to do productivity, this machine would be great for that as well. So really, again, of why I like PC gaming, you can do productivity stuff as well, video editing, music creation. There's so much you can do with this, and this will really enable you to do whatever you want on your computer. A really good, really solid processor. The motherboard we're getting is an ASRock Z77 Extreme 4 socket LGA 1155 ATX motherboard. We're getting it for $100, saving some money by going with the bundle. So saving $30, it's worth it. I really like this motherboard. It supports quad channel memory. We're only gonna be using dual channel, but if you want to upgrade in the future to quad channel, we'll do basically as fast as RAM as you can put in it. I really like that it has SATA 6 ports. It has 4 of them, so you'll never need more than that. And if you want to have maybe 1 or 2 mechanical hard drives, when they're in RAID or something, you can always put those in the SATA 3 as well. I think 7200 RPM hard drives will utilize the 6 gigabit a second SATA ports, but you can't go wrong. You have plenty of space for upgrading and plenty of space for expansion and memory. Just in general, really solid. This has a couple PCI Express slots. That's always good. If you want to put a Wi-Fi card in this, or I guess a RAID card, even though I think this supports 0, 1, 10, I even believe 5. Yeah, and of course GBOD as well. So really a solid choice, and it will support up to 2 graphics cards as well. We're only gonna have one in this build, but another thing in the future, if you want to run, we're using an NVIDIA graphics card. If you want to run them in SLI, you can do that later if you get another one. If you're gonna go the AMD route, this obviously won't. Oh no, it will support an ATI card, but that ATI is owned by AMD, but I don't know. I said AMD. Uh, if you want to get like I don't know, a 7770 or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I don't really usually go with ATI, but if you want to do that, you can run those in Crossfire. Get a second one, so get a second NVIDIA graphics card. Run those through SLI. Pretty solid. Pretty solid selection here. Basically, do whatever you want. Getting a Western Digital mainstream terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. We utilize the SATA 6. Just nothing too fancy here. Got the job done. A terabyte is fine for storing all your games and movies and music and whatnot. If you really want to do video editing, which you'll have the option for this, you might want to go up to 2 terabytes, or maybe get just another one later. You always have the option as well. There's plenty of space in our case and with our motherboard. I was hoping to get a solid state drive, but honestly, for our price point we had for this part, we would get one that was so small, it would just be pathetic. You could add like a 64 gigabyte one later and just put things you want to pull up fast, things you use a lot, like applications you're always using on that. And so then, if you have a solid state drive, the load times would be around 0. That would probably be my first upgrade, would be picking up a 64 80 gigabyte solid state drive. But up to you. Again, it's all about what you want with PC gaming. That's why I really like it, and just PCs in general. And that's why I really suggest people to build one. But for now, we're just going with this, but it would definitely get the job done. Going with Kingston HyperX Blue 8 GB DDR3 1333 speed RAM. This is good, dual channel. It'll be pretty fast. 8 GB is fine for gaming. If you really want to do video editing, maybe go up to 16, or you might want to get 2 of these and do quad channel. But this will be plenty enough for gaming. And the clock speed, well, not the clock speed, but the speed of the RAM is slow, 1333. But because we have a committed graphics card which has 2 GB of dedicated RAM for that, we don't need fast RAM. So it really, I think I saw a comparison when you have a committed graphics card. It's interesting, like 1333 and 2100, or I think it was like that. Like 2100 speed RAM is 1 or 2 frames per second in the most demanding game. So it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So that it's just another solid choice. Kingston's a great brand. I've never had any issue with them. They make good RAM. Good choice. We're using the a Gigabyte GeForce GTX 660. This is an overclockable one. Got a little over 2 GB of GDDR5 RAM. It's gonna be stupid fast. RAM. This is just a really good graphics card. I was hoping to get a GeForce GTX probably like 760, or maybe even 770 would be way over the budget, but $60 more. You might want to consider that, especially if you play really graphics intense games such as Crysis 3, or you want to play games like that. But this will definitely get the job done. It's very powerful. You can basically play any game on this. So I like the Gigabyte fans. Are pretty good. I've seen better. We're not really going to be overclocking this at all, or maybe a little bit, but it'll get the job done, definitely. And finally, we're getting to our power supply. Nothing much happening here. An Inland 7500 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. Always try and get A plus bronze. I don't think you need more than that, a more efficient power supply, but this would be efficient power supply. You're going to get good clean energy to your power, to your components, I'm sorry. And 750 would be overkill, but I put this in case you want to add a second graphics card. Again, run maybe 2 GTX 660s and SLI. That would be a great upgrade later. Or if you want to get, I think what would be in our budget and comparable to that would be like a 7770 or something like that, and one of those ATI graphics card. But it will definitely do what you need to do. Case, we're going with a mid-tower case, an ATX case. Corsair Carbide Series 200R. I have one that is, it's not the same case, but it's just like it. This is a really good line of cases. All like toolless design, good cooling. you're gonna have your room for your all your 3.5 inch hard drives, all your 2.5 inch hard solid state drives. Um, and I thought about adding maybe a card reader or disk drive, but I decided not to include it because really, I don't think it's necessary. If you want to do that, that would be an extra $20 or whatnot. I also didn't include an operating system in this build, just for the fact that if you're gonna get Linux, it's gonna be free. So I didn't want to impose on people, oh, get Windows, because a lot of people don't need Windows, especially with the coming out with Steam OS, Steam boxes will be on the market relatively shortly in the future. I'm sure they will be. I don't know when you're gonna be watching this, and so there's gonna be a lot of games on Linux in the future. So I think really you can do with Linux. Now I have Windows just because I really have to, but I think Linux is a pretty good operating system. But if you need to spend the $100, buy Windows. That's your decision. But I didn't want to impose that on people by having it in the build. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is a really good PC. It's gonna be able to play basically all your games. I'd like to go a little bit higher into the products, but obviously you can always do that in the future. It's very upgradable. And it's just a really solid PC. I think it very much beats, and it will be. I'm not gonna say I think it. I know it will. Beat the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in a lot of gameplay and a lot of visual effects and whatnot. And so, well, thank you for watching. This is my channel right here. I'm, just starting out. I'm hoping to get to maybe around 10 subscribers, 15 subscribers by the end of the month. And so it would really help if you could subscribe to my channel, or at least like the video, comment the video. Tell me if you think I should have done anything different, or if you think it would be a better idea to go with consoles. I'm totally open for debate. Post down in the comments. Thank you for watching. This has been Matthew Abel with the Teen Tech, and thanks for watching.